Hey guys, this is Dustin, Skidoojunky. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Thanks for coming back for another vintage Skidoo spotlight. Today, I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull this off. I asked Leslie what she wanted to do for Mother's Day, and she said, Dustin, I would really like for you to go make some more vintage Skidoo spotlight videos. So, guess what? Here I am. Thanks, Leslie. So, we're going to get back to the X series sleds in the PRS chassis. Last week we talked about Jimmy's Interceptor 550. I'm always drawn to that sled. It's super cool. But just kind of going down the line, we talked about the 1990 Plus 500 was actually the first PRS chassis X sled. And then obviously in 91, they made the three models, the Mach 1X, the Plus X, and the MXX. We've already talked about the Mach 1X, so today we're going to talk about the 91 Plus X. So, really, if you compare the 1990 Plus 500 to the 1991 Plus X, the only difference at the end of the day is cosmetics. So the 91s came with the new, more aerodynamic hoods, lower windshield, and they had the chromoly front bulkheads. So those chromoly front bulkheads were really prone to cracking. Any of the guys that were, beating theirs up, ice ovaling, or maybe snow crossing them, a lot of the front bulkheads were actually replaced with just the steel front bulkheads. There wasn't a lot of weight savings there, but it was kind of the wow factor thing for Skidoo to tell everybody, hey, we've done whatever we could to lighten this sled up, yada yada. A lot of people don't realize that the 91 Plus X is actually the lowest production number X sled built to date. There was only 125 of them made. This one is actually serial number 61. Like many of the other sleds, it came to me. It originated in California, of all places. And then the gentleman, I believe, moved to Denver, Colorado. And throughout the course of a series of phone calls, he'd kind of alluded to me that he'd like for me to have the sled, wanted it to go to the right place. And it was the only X sled that I didn't have. I mean, for that reason, I said the 91s, there were not that many of them made. Well, that makes them even that much harder to find. I think I might know where 6 of them are at now, and that's about it. But anyways, he and I struck a deal. My son Devin and I jumped in the truck. We took off one Sunday and drove from East Central Illinois to Omaha, Nebraska to meet him partway, and then cannonballed it back. It was 1,100 miles in one day round trip. But hey, that's what us sled heads do, right? We're crazy. So once again, back to the 91 Plus X, the differences outside of the chromoly front bulkhead, it had the 521 in it. It did have a little bit of a different pipe, rotary valve, and had 38 millimeter carbs from the factory. But they ran well. They were cool. Kind of some guys would ice oval them. Some guys would drag race them. They weren't really a snowcross sled, so this one was raced. I don't know that a lot of them actually ever were, but really good looking sleds. One of my favorites of the X series sleds, X model sleds, because of the aesthetics. I'm not a red guy, but these red PRS chassis sleds just look good. I've actually got a consumer model 91 Plus that I ride a lot. It's got about 1,500 miles on it. I'll ride it, take it up on a trip and ride it for a day or so. This sled has only got 800 miles on it, and it was a one-owner sled prior to me owning it. It had gotten raced for a couple years when it was new, and then it just kind of hung out at a dealership as a conversation piece. So fortunately for me, it's patinaed well. It's weathered the storm well. It presents very nice. I have not done anything to this sled other than powder coat the skis, so it is as original as it was when the day it was new. Devin's going to come over. We're going to take a quick look under the hood and wrap things up. Guys, as you can see, Type 536 motor, 521 cc's. This thing looks great, runs great, TRA clutch. If you remember, the 91s did not have the Fox shocks like the 93s did, but fun sleds. Another thing that I've not commented on about the X model sleds is that they had extra intakes in the air boxes. So it's basically like a 2-inch diameter hole that it looks like they screwed chicken wire over to keep any debris from flying in, but that was their way of allowing extra air because, they made so much more horsepower. But anyways, thanks for coming out today. This is the 91 Formula Plus X.